Today on Grease Garage, we cool the poo troll by chucking on this fan on the intercooler. Just like any project, we need to remove the parts that we are modifying. But in Liam's haste, he has forgot to remove some things. Lucky, I'm here to lend him a hand.
You know what you should have done?
What?
You should have pulled it off while it was still bolted.
Oh, I didn't see it.
You didn't see it, huh?
Nah, I wasn't looking, mate.
You wasn't looking at it. You forgot. Spit on it. Oh, shit. Here you go, mate. Here you go.
No. I don't want to cut it because it need to go back on. No.
Well, after some further encouragement, Liam successfully removes the intercooler to get it ready for modification. So now that we're back over to the bench, I just got Liam's old intercooler here. And we've got this tube and fin design that's been pressed onto these ends. And it's quite thin. Liam's upgraded to eBay one, which is a bar and plate and welded in with the factory ends. And this is definitely a lot more heavy duty. You can definitely feel the weight difference. The benefit being it's just a lot thicker and it's going to work out really good for the fan, and I'll show you why. If you look for most aftermarket kits, the biggest fan you can put on the OM intercooler is a 7-inch fan. If you're using these eBay ones, you can crank it up to a 9-inch fan and that covers the complete intercooler, give you maximum effect. So that's what we're sticking to. We've already pre-tested it and we know that it is going to fit underneath, and we're doing it underneath, so this is going to draw air through the intercooler, not push it through. So now that we've got that out of the way, let's put it together. It's important to take your time to get the fan centered as possible to get the maximum effect. Once you're happy with the fan placement, use a permanent marker to mark where the mounts need to be. I'm using the plastic mounting zip ties that came with the fan. I really like these. Not only are they simple to use, but unlike the metal mounts, I don't need to worry about the intercooler getting rubbed through in time by metal on metal contact. Obviously you could weld some threaded aluminium rod to the intercooler, and if you have the tools available, I would recommend this as the best option over anything else. So now that we've got this basically on, we've got to put these round tabs on here and then cut them. But they're not going to make it, so we're just going to give them a quick little trim. Wire snips. And then slap them on. Once I have done all 4 mountings, I then go through and time the zip washers by using the wire cutters and applying pressure while holding the zip tie with my other hand. I would like to note that I pre-installed some 8mm wide foam seal on the face of the fan. This is to help to stop vibrations and rattling, and also to help create a semi-seal between the fan and the intercooler. Cool, now that fan's done, the next thing to do is empty the cooling system, take this section off, and we're going to put a sensor in there that goes to earth when it gets to the right temperature, and that's how we're going to control the fan off the radiator heat. We're also going to put a switch on the inside of the cab, and that's just going to be a bypass, just in case he's, forward driving, he just wants that extra little bit of air. But yeah, pretty straightforward. Let's start draining it. Most factory radiators will have some type of bleed nipple in the bottom of them. If your vehicle does not have one, to drain your coolant you can undo the lowest radiator hose. But a word of caution, never undo a cap, hose or screw of a car's cooling system if the radiator is hot or warm. Trust me, you're going to have a bad day if you do. Installing the temperature switch is a straightforward job. On the Nissan Patrols near the aircon pump, there is a secondary bleed plug on the aluminium piping, which is the same thread as our temperature switch, meaning it's as simple as unplugging one and installing the other.
So while Liam's filling the car up with coolant, let's talk about the sensor that we've just put in. So we found a bung on the bottom aluminium radiator hose, and that's where we've been able to screw in the sensor. Like I was saying before, this sensor is a heat turn on off sensor. I'm pretty sure we got the one that was 80 degrees on and like 75 degrees off. So it should be perfect for this car. I'll definitely put a link in the description of where you can buy these. So he'll be driving. As soon as the car gets warm, the fan should turn on. But we're also, like I said before, we're going to put our override switch onto it.
Okay, so we've just slapped the wiring on. We haven't completely finished it, but Liam's got to go to Perth tomorrow and it is pretty late. So we'll run you over a couple of things. We have not hooked up the temperature switch yet. We've left that off. And we've just hooked it up to an on-off switch inside the cab. If we have a look here at the actual fan, which is underneath, heaps of clearance. We've got power right here that goes to a relay. And we've got the earth going directly to the body. So pretty straightforward. So we're inside the driver's side. And we've got the relays here and the fuse box. So we've got power to this fuse box. 5 amp wire goes to a switch. That supplies power to the trigger, positive side. The negative side is just ground to earth. So right at the moment we're just running off on-off power. And then that obviously clocks the bridge over and we're running 15 amp to that fan. Pretty basic setup. It's going to get a bit more complicated, I guess, when we get the temperature switch hooked up, and we'll put that on the earth side of that relay, and then we'll hook this up as well so we can bypass it whenever we want. But yeah, you can go to Perth. He's got his fan going. Alright, now that we're back outside the car, it's only right that we'll give this thing a test. Liam, crank her on. Got a paper, let's chuck it out. How cool is that? If we close the bonnet, that's right, I'll do it. Go, Lemmy. She's sucking beautifully. Now, if you keep watching us, we are going to put this on the dyno and we're actually going to see if that actually makes any difference in power, any difference in his exhaust temperatures, and if it also makes a difference with boost pressure inside the manifold. So yeah, stay tuned. If you like what you're watching, thumbs up. If you don't like it, cool, thumbs down. But please subscribe because it means a lot to me. It means we can keep mucking around and building stuff because we love building stuff. No worries, guys. We'll catch you next time. Cheers.